Good evening all, and in this session we are going to discuss about HTML5, and myself Rahul, and I work as a UI developer in DBG. So coming to the HTML5, in fact we are going to discuss about HTML5. Before that, I think everyone know what HTML is, and I think I don't need to explain in detail about HTML. It's actually a behind the scene coding language that is used to make a stuff to see online, that is to see something in a browser. So HTML is then coming to HTML5. So what is HTML5? It's simple HTML, but it is the latest version of HTML that was released on 2008. But still it is under the working draft, but we can expect it as to release in by the end of the year. We can accept it as a standard for developing web pages. So it is a new standard of HTML, and it is designed to deliver almost everything that you want. It is also cross-platform. It is device independent. It is compatible in every devices. So the HTML5 comes with many new advanced features that we can look into in the later slides, and it is so user friendly as well. So before going into details about the advanced features, just we can go through the different versions of HTML that we discussed in the earlier session. That is from HTML1 to HTML5. The HTML5 was released on 2009, and before that we have 4 versions with new components, new elements added to that versions. Similar to HTML, we have CSS, different versions of CSS up to CSS3. Different new elements and new features has been added to this CSS. So before going into the HTML5 components, let's discuss about the removed elements in HTML5. These are some of the removed elements. We have lots and lots of removed elements from HTML5, and these are some of the HTML elements that we removed in HTML5. And then comes the difference between HTML4, maybe the previous version and the latest version. And the HTML5 comes with a simplified syntax when compared to the previous versions. It comes with a many new features, new components, new elements that we can use to make our web page more organized and more neat. That means we can code in a better way by using these tags. For example, we have different tags in HTML5 such as canvas, header, footer, navigation section, menu, figure tag, audio tag, video tag, and so many components have been added in HTML5. And coming to the browser support in HTML5. So HTML5 is the browser support for HTML5. That means the only modern browsers support HTML elements. So that is one of the biggest disadvantage of HTML5. But we can hack it. We can use some polyfills to make this HTML5 element work in lower version browsers. So HTML5 is not an official standard, not yet an official standard, and no new browsers have a full support of HTML elements. And also all the major vendors, all the major browsers are working on it to continue to add the new HTML features or HTML elements in the later version. That means in the modern versions. So this is a basic thing that means the HTML document type. Simple, just to define it as doc type HTML. In the earlier versions, we need to specify a long set of code to make it work. So this is a basic layout. Just need to specify HTML header, that means a head tag, body tag, and similar way.
So HTML5 is nothing different, but just a few new tags got introduced. We just need to understand, oh, these are the new tags, and we can use this tag for this purpose. And that is the only difference between HTML previous version and new version.
The HTML5 makes it more organized. We can do it very quickly,
and it will be very easy for us to implement it.
Yeah.
So everyone can go and start doing coding in HTML5 actually. It is not something new.
Yeah. So exploring HTML, we can look into the different. We can explore the HTML. So HTML5 is lightweight. We can say it lightweight. Why? Because the line of code is decreased. and it is liquid layout. It can work on smartphones, it can work on tablet, laptops. It's cross-platform, interactive, and semantic. Then comes the elements that is being newly added in HTML5. These are some of the components, some of the elements. We have lots and lots of components, lots and lots of elements added to HTML5. So these are some of the components. That means audio, video tag, header tag, footer tag, article, aside, audio, canvas, command, so and so. So we have specific tags to differentiate the web page sections. That means for in HTML5, for example, if you want to define a header section, we can use header tag. If you want to define a footer section, we can use a footer tag. Earlier, it was not possible. We have to define a division and apply a class or ID. This is header. This is footer. So in HTML5, we can use these tags: header, footer, audio, video, everything. And some of the other features of HTML5 is creating editable content. So the content can be editable in the output. That means if we place some content inside a code and that code is being rendered by the browser, and we can see that in our browser, that output is seen in our browser. So what if you want to edit that particular content? We can make it possible in HTML5 by defining that content to be editable. This is a syntax. This is a syntax of editable content. That element and content editable and the value. We need to set the value to true. So we can edit that content inside a browser. The element is just an HTML element, whether it is a p tag or division tag or whatever it be. So if we are giving it as a null value, it is not editable. If you want to make it editable, we need to set the value true.
Okay, so previously we have to write a JavaScript to make it editable or change it as a input box.
Yeah.
So right now it is not required.
Yeah. We need to just set the value true, and it makes that content editable.
Okay. So if it is a p tag, full paragraph will be
can be editable.
Okay.
So
div also.
Division also it is possible. That's why it's an element. We can do in any element. Similar way, there is a spell check component, spell check feature in HTML5 that is something similar to word checking. Similar to in Microsoft Word, when we type a meaningless word, it will show a underline that this is not in the dictionary, and so that feature is also available in HTML5. Just need to specify the value true.
Okay,
for that,
so if it is an input box or a text area,
text area,
whenever we type it, it will show.
Yeah, in the text area, just text area spell check true. It will make that dictionary checking. So the next come custom data attribute. These are the custom data attribute that can be used for data manipulation. That means it consists of two parts. That is attribute name and attribute value. This attribute name is this is the attribute name. That means data hyphen text. That is user defined. The text is user defined. We can define anything. That is name. That comes city. That comes language or whatever. Only thing while defining this data attribute you have to keep in mind is that you should not use an uppercase letter. That means the D and N. The first letter should be, in fact, the whole letter should be in small letters. So the client side storage, it is same as cookies. In fact, the session storage has a little bit more storage capacity, but it is not persistent. Once the browser is closed, the data will be lost. But the local storage also, it will be stored in the user storage space. Session storage is not persistent. Then comes the HTML canvas. It is actually used to draw graphics in a web page. So HTML element to draw graphics on the fly. That means we can use JavaScript to draw graphics in a canvas. Canvas acts as a container where we can draw graphics using a JavaScript. We can draw drawing paths, boxes, circles, add images, everything you want. And also the inline SVG. SVG is actually a scalable vector graphic. It's a vector graphic where we can scale it. Actually, how it does is that this SVG format is an XML for this graphics in XML format, and the different properties is set inside that XML format. Once we export, once we save as a file or a image or a vector image that we created in some vector editing tools, Once it is exported as SVG format, and we can import that SVG format inside our web page. Similar way that we were using to import the JPEG image or a PNG image. Similar way we can import that SVG format inside our web page. This SVG format will be in XML file. So we can change some properties in that XML file. We can change the colors of the boxes that we created inside that XML file. So 2D and 3D both are supported in HTML5. SVG is 2D graphics and WebGL is 3D graphics. WebGL is actually a web-based graphic library that supports 3D graphics. It is maintained and designed by Knorros Group. And next comes a geolocation. This is another interesting feature that in HTML5. This is an API which is used to plot or which is used to get the users, the end users location. So for that we need to give a simple script. It will get the longitude and latitude position of a particular user unless the user have to give the permission. User have to approve it. So another feature is or we can say it as a tag. It's a video tag. So in the previous versions of HTML, if you want to show a video in our browser, we need to do a lot of stuff to make it work in a browser. We need to embed that code. We need to set some parameters to make it work. So in HTML5, we have a video tag that is simple as just as importing a image, src, and so on path that will make that image appear in our browser. Similar way, we can use a video tag to display a particular video in our web page.
So does it need that Flash player?
No. It doesn't need any Flash player. Earlier version, we need to embed a plugin, Flash player, Rail player, or video player of different vendors to make a video work in HTML. In this video tag is not necessary. So what are the reasons for using HTML5? So there are so many reasons why we should use HTML5. Accessibility, video, audio support, document type, clean code. That means lots and lots of features is being added in HTML5 that makes us easy to code and that makes it user friendly. That is one of the major reasons why we should use HTML5. So legacy and the cross-browser support. So what actually this is that HTML5 is rendered only in modern browsers, but we cannot neglect the older browsers, the previous version browsers. Why? Because is that we may not be knowing the what browser the end user uses. So we need, if we are developing a web page in using HTML5, we need to make work in lower version browsers. Otherwise, the end user will not be accessing. If I am popping a message, you have to download the modern version browser only, then you can access my site. Certainly, sometimes that end user may not be accessing my site. He or she may find it difficult to download the newer version browser to access my site. So we have to make it work in lower version browser as well. So we can use some polyfills or hacks to make the new tags, a new HTML tag to work in lower version browsers. So mobile.
Let's go ahead. So this is just a script that we need to add in our code at the header, so that even if you use Canvas or any new HTML5 tags, it will work in the previous
version browsers.
Okay. So what does it actually do?
It actually converts the tags, the new tags, to make it recognize that the lower version browser will identify that it is a
so
section.
These guys might have written the code, to convert the newer version HTML5 tags to the old version code.
IE6 is, I think it's not but yeah, okay. HTML.
Actually, what does this script does is older versions of browser doesn't know what a header tag is a footer tag or something like that. And what this does is it's just a JavaScript, just is creating an element on the fly. It's creating an element, document dot create element header, so that the browser knows there's an element called header, and it process. And in a CSS, we usually keep header, footer, video, and stuff like that to display block. It's simple.
Next comes the reason for why we use it continues and mobile. So the people who access website, people who access mobile application increasing day by day. So we need to make a particular website that we are developing to work in every device, handheld device, whether it is small device or laptop or tablet, everything. We need to make it work in every handheld devices. So by using HTML5 and CSS3, we can make web page more responsive and more compatible in in handheld device, in smaller device, tablet, anywhere. So in fact, we can conclude that in the web industry, in the web standards, HTML is the future, and we have to learn it and we have to get with it. So welcome to the future. So that is about the HTML. That's the end of this session, and we can just go to just a recap for what we were discussing in this session.
I think some of them were taking some notes, but you were quickly traversing the slides, right? So,
Okay, we were discussing about HTML. What is HTML and the different features, the versions of CSS, the removed elements in the previous versions, and the difference between the previous version and the present version, that is HTML5, and the about the browser support and the document type, and exploring some of the new features and new elements and new features.
could you please slow down a bit?
Slow down, okay.
It's very fast.
Okay. Exploring the client-side storage, session storage, local storage, about a new component called HTML Canvas, SVG, 2D, 3D graphics, and the geolocation API, video tag, and the reasons behind why we should use HTML5. Yeah, and that's the end of the session. And now I would like to welcome Mr. Shamir B to take the next session.